You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
I'm Stephen Cabral, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you today's Friday review. Some of my favorite products are on here, and even an actual wellness client recommendation that brought this product to me specifically to help with hair growth and some issues that she was dealing with. And I'd never heard of it before. So I love learning from everyone, and especially love learning from the people that I get the chance to work with. So I'll bring that to you today. A great little book. I think it's like 100 pages long at the most. That's going to teach you a lot about digestion and kind of healing the gut, and also some of the gluten-free products that we use in my own family. So before I do that though, I want to give you one quick CBD oil update. So really interesting. About a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I did an episode called What Drug Companies Don't Want You to Know About CBD Oil. And it was just my way to kind of break the news for the first time, to get it out there, this kind of taboo topic lately of legalizing things like marijuana and hemp in the United States. Well, what I said was that CBD, the cannabinoids inside of essentially cannabis, don't contain THC. They contain about 0.3. So it's totally legal. You can get it from any naturopathic doctor. You can get it from, really reputable companies. But then I talked about how right now the drug companies are literally scrambling because there is so much research just literally within the last 18 months showing CBD oil and its effects on autism, on anxiety, on sleep, on cancer, on all of these different things that it's helping with. And the research is literally astounding. And so I was totally blown away by the episode effect on people, the emails that I was getting. Literally, we've been just catching up until now. We had to reorder more, all those different types of things. And honestly, we just told people that we get it from organic farms in Colorado that just are obviously our philosophy is whatever I'm putting in my body, it has to be the best. It just has to be. It can't have any of the pesticides that's grown on a lot of other products. It just has to be top quality. And so I just wanted to kind of thank everyone for being just receptive and open to new ways of healing the body, and always just using plant-based medicine and using the best of Ayurvedic, because again, they talked about hemp in Ayurvedic times as well as functional-based medicine and lab testing, just using the best of everything. So what I'm going to do is, since I've gotten a lot of questions and I'm not going to be able to answer every single one of them on the house call, is just let you know that next week, hopefully next week, or if not the week after, I'll be going into some specific case studies of how people are using CBD oil for things like ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, immune-based issues, inflammation in general, joint pain, sleep, anxiety. And I spoke about on that episode. If you want to listen to it, you can just go back to episode 452, stephencabral.com/452, and you'll hear about my 6-month journey into using it and taking it predominantly as a way to just help just really push me into the parasympathetic nervous system when I get home from work, to relax my body, to make me more at ease, more calm, and help me get into a deeper sleep. And it did that. And there's not a lot of nutritional supplements that you can feel right away. Magnesium citrate, that's one of them, and certain B vitamins. But, this is one of those things that you do feel. So anyway, excited to keep bringing you more updates about that. But what I want to do is in the next show is to give you more real life case studies. And I think people would enjoy that because they have been asking, how to use it for this. And just for right now, know that it should be at 20 milligrams or more. Most companies aren't at that 20 milligrams per serving. And the last update was just that we are shipping everyone's order, even though we did sell out. We're shipping that with priority shipping today, Friday. So hopefully that does help. Well, anyone who ordered priority shipping will obviously get that today. Okay, so let's move right into the Friday review. Now, the Friday review, I'm looking forward right away, right off the bat. I'm going to give you. This is a pizza crust. Now, there's a lot of companies out there right now. And again, they've kind of, joined the bandwagon for the gluten-free media push that we've seen. However, there's more and more gluten-free products that are actually worse than gluten products basically in general. Unless you have celiac or you have another inflammatory bowel disease that's really going to cause an issue when you do take in gluten. A lot of these gluten-free products are actually worse. And the reason they're worse is that there's so many xanthan gums and tapioca starches and all this stuff added into it that's not good for your gut. Just because it says gluten-free does not mean it's good for you. So there is one pizza crust that you can make at home. You can make these fun things. Now, how do I know about this? Well, again, 20 plus years ago, I was using this particular brand. It was one of the only ones out there. And there was no Whole Foods. Again, 20 years ago, there wasn't. Starting to go into Wild Oats and those types of places, but there was local health food stores. And in their freezer sections, they would have this product. It's called Nature's Highlights, and it's HILIGHTS. I'll link all this stuff up in the show notes. So Nature's Highlights. It's a brown rice pizza crust. And there's 2 ingredients. I love products with just 2 ingredients. Brown rice, basically rice and water. That's it. That's like Edwards and Sons crackers, gluten-free crackers, rice and water. That's it. So this is a brand that I recommend. Usually you put it in the toaster oven or your oven for just about 5 minutes. So crisp it up. Then you can add a pesto sauce, which is what we like to do. I think that pesto sauce is a lot healthier. We do ours dairy-free as well, but you're welcome to do it however you choose. I'll put up a recipe very soon for my wife's dairy-free pesto sauce, which is phenomenal, rivals anything. And then you can top it however you want. You can make a veggie pizza if you're totally dairy-free, or you could use goat's cheese or sheep's milk-based cheese, which is what I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend a cow's-based milk cheese. And you can make fantastic pizza for the whole family, and it can actually be pretty healthy. So that's one. Really recommend that brand. And then what do we use for gluten-free pasta? Well, there's a lot of brands that we've gone through before. Lundberg is one of the more recent ones. 20 years ago, I was using a product called Tinkyada. That was the brand name of that. And now what we use is a company called Jovial. And it's Jovial. And again, I'm not affiliated with any of these brands. So Jovial pasta, here's why I like them. They have basically every different variety of pasta that you get, just like a gluten-based, whole wheat-based pasta. So this is rice. Again, it's just rice. Like that's the one ingredient. So some people with mold allergies might not do well with a dry-based pasta in general, whether it's rice-based or wheat-based, but some might not do well with this. It's obviously yours to try out, but if you're okay with rice, you're probably going to be okay with this product. And again, you can make it with a pesto, you can make it with an olive oil, you can make it with a red sauce, however you choose to do it. You can try that out for yourself. So they even make lasagna sheets. I mean, they have all sorts of different things. You can get very, very creative with it. But those are my 2 favorite brands, Nature's Highlights and the Jovial pasta. But Lundberg and Tinkyada are also very good brands as well. We'll link those up in the show notes today so that you can get them locally, or some you might even be able to order on Amazon. I don't believe the frozen varieties you would be able to order on Amazon, but that's okay. You can find them locally, no doubt about it. So the next product I want to get to today is called Food Combining and Digestion, 101 Ways to Improve Digestion by Steve Meyerowitz. And he calls himself the Sprout Man. So you know what? I'll tell you, I don't know how I find these books or how these books find their way to me. I obviously have no affiliation with Steve, and I just thought, this is a nice little book that's very approachable for anyone, no matter what your nutrition background or not. You'd be able to read this book and you'd get a lot out of it. And I'll tell you what, there's very few books that I'm going to say, okay, 100% recommend everything, like some of the dairy products in this, can't recommend it, but he's teaching you real world, how to apply these things in your own life. He talks about a lot of things that I do as well. Like you shouldn't just be eating every 2 hours. You have to digest the food in your stomach. You need to move it through first. So very few people should be following that type of nutrition plan. Again, very few things I disagree with. One of them would just be using things like fructooligosaccharides, FOSs, if you have a candida overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth in gut. It's one of the areas that I just truly do specialize in. I honestly have made this part of my life's work because so many people have gut-based issues. Those are not good products when you have a candida or bacterial overgrowth. In the future, to repopulate the gut, sure, but not for the first 6 to 8 weeks. Those have to be eliminated because they do feed yeast and they do feed bacteria in the gut. Really like this book though. Again, no affiliation with Steve Meyerowitz, but the book is called Food Combining and Digestion, and I think you get a lot out of it. And so we'll link that up on the website today as well. Today's show, you can just go to stevecabral.com/462. Okay, so I was working with a private wellness client in my concierge practice, and she told me about a product for hair growth that she used and that she got a lot out of. It's called Wild Growth. Okay, so Wild Growth makes a hair growth oil as well as a moisturizing product. So basically, you use both in combination. Now, I looked it up. I said, can I recommend this product? I'm not sure. I need to figure out if it's just loaded with toxins. Well, it's actually free of mineral oil, parabens, hormones. It's not tested on animals, which is really important. There's no synthetics in it. There's no drugs. There's no petroleum. It's all natural oils. So I said, okay, this makes sense because when I was over in India studying, what we used for hair growth was a lot of natural oils that had sesame. They were high copper. They were really good amino acid profiles to help strengthen the scalp and hair. Really, really important. So that's what we use. And so I looked up this product. When I went to their website, I was horrified. I mean, no offense to Wild Growth. And if anybody knows them, just constructive criticism, only the best criticism. There's no, I'm promoting the product, so please don't get down on me. It's probably the worst website I've ever seen in 2017. It just can't happen. So what we need to do is get them to update this website. Now, luckily, it's all over the place. I couldn't even find the ingredients. Luckily, they do sell on Amazon, and they also sell at a place called Sally's Beauty Supply, I believe. I've never been to a Sally's. If you've been to a Sally's or you have one in your area, then you might be able to purchase it there as well. So it's called Wild Hair Growth. And again, I'll link it up in the show notes as well. But what I'd like to do is just tell you right now what's in the particular product. Okay, so there's two products, and basically they're used in conjunction with each other. One is the Wild Hair Growth Oil, and the instructions come with it. Just keep in mind that this product was originally created for people with African hair. But anyone can use the product. I mean, truly anyone can use it. And again, my client that I'm working with is African American, but you can use anyone can use the product. They actually just give you different dosing recommendations. So inside the hair growth oil is olive oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, vitamin D, choline, inositol, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, and just natural colors. It actually is natural. There's no unnatural dyes or anything like that in the particular product. So African type hair will use a little bit more of the drops, about 15 drops, and then for non-African hair, a little less, probably around 5 drops or so. So now after using the hair growth oil, you use the moisturizing oil. And the moisturizing oil contains olive oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, castor oil, flaxseed oil, carrot oil, pumpkin seed oil, grapeseed oil, safflower oil, and then a base oil as well. So, here's the thing. Even though this is called a moisturizing one, I know from working over and interning in Sri Lanka and India and working with people on hair growth, that flaxseed, that carrot, that pumpkin, that castor oil, those are all for hair growth as well. So the nice thing is that this is not an expensive product. So it's a 4-ounce bottle or so. It's going to last you a while. They're both about $10. So again, we'll link those up in the show notes. And again, you can buy them packs of 2. You can buy them however you'd like. But they get great reviews on Amazon. And again, this isn't a company, there's a lot of companies out there that just get fake reviews, like they just pay for reviews. This company actually has about 80% positive reviews, which is pretty high. I mean, that's good on Amazon because, of course, all the negative people come out whenever a product isn't good, and they make sure to leave their negative review, which is part of being a trouble with a small business. But there's also 80% positive. So that means a lot of people getting benefit from that product. I figured that if it's working for people in my practice, why not share it with you as well? So hopefully everything helped today. Everything from the gluten-free pizza crust, the gluten-free pasta, the book on food combining and digestion, and now on the hair growth formula. So hopefully today's episode was helpful. Feel free to always pass it on to anyone that it could help with. And thank you as always for tuning into the Cabral Concept. I hope to be speaking with you tomorrow on our community house calls. Take care, everyone.
Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at equa.life, you can order an at-home lab test or lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquaLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.